There are times when you deserve more than a coffee break. So make a cup of Mellow Birds. You'll find its smooth, mellow flavor turns an ordinary coffee break into a mellow moment. Mellow Birds for mellow moments.
Every day should have some.
Welcome back to Mellow Moments. Let's have a little sip of this mildest coffee. What's on the box today?
Now marvel at the strategy at sea as we join the Canberra for the International Bridge Club.
International Bridge.
And so we say farewell to Vigo.
Let's go ahead, starboard. Captain, for me, level after.
Okay, we can let the good tug go now.
Level.
Let go of the tug.
Larga popa ya. Leave that set.
We'll do both tugs, okay.
As the tug leaves us and we leave Vigo Bay, welcome to the closing dramatic stages of the Canberra World Bridge Trophy. Not only the trophy, but £10,000 to the winner. And so for Zia Mahmood...
This should be especially interesting, friends, because as I'm sipping my coffee here, I don't actually know the rules of bridge. I've never played a game of bridge in my life, so we're going to try to work out what's going on as we watch International Bridge.
Robert Sheehan, Arturo Franco, if not for Christian Mary, unfortunately, everything to play for as we make our way back out towards the Bay of Biscay and home. In fact, it's really quite close between Zia Mahmood and Arturo Franco. Jeremy Flint, Robert Sheehan still in it at all?
Yes, he's got an outside chance. The position at the moment, of course, is distinctly in Zia Mahmood's favour.
Let's have a look at the score.
So Arturo Franco, plus £460. Zia Mahmood enjoying a healthy but not unassailable lead, plus £1,260. Christian Mary of France, I regret, must be considered as a man overboard, minus £1,660. And Robert Sheehan, with an outsider's chance, minus £60.
Okay.
Of course, Christian Mary does have one last faint hope, and that is that he might have, with his partner, the chance to bid and make 2 Grand Slams. If they do, there's a prize of 50,000.
Exactly.
What are the chances?
They're getting slimmer as the boards slip by.
What would the odds be, would you say, now? You said earlier on in the series.
This is such a weird show. Everybody's called Jeremy. Everybody's wearing these tuxes. I love how surreal this is so far. It's amazing.
It was about 100 and something to 1 of 2 Grand Slams being dealt on successive hands. What are the chances now with only, what, 20 boards to go?
Well, of course, as the hands slip away, the actual odds against 2 Grand Slams back-to-back decrease.
Right, well, let's start the play straight away. In fact, Robert Sheehan of England, still with an outside chance of winning, is playing with Zia Mahmood from Pakistan, and Arturo Franco is playing with Christian Mary. There's Mary on the left with his back to us, Robert Sheehan next to him with his back to us. Zia Mahmood on the left there, the present winner. It's love all, and the dealer is Christian Mary, and for once, rather a lovely-looking hand, JF.
Yes, hand with really exciting prospects. 2 6-card suits, a rarity. And not only 2 6-card suits, a major suit, hearts, headed by the ace-king-queen. Some players would open that with a 2 bid. That would be a bad mistake, and not one that Christian Mary would make. And he opened with a perfectly orthodox call of 1 heart.
I have no idea what's happening at all.
And here we see Zia Mahmood. And if Marie has an attractive 2-suiter, Zia's got a better one. Now, many players would think this is a moment to do something dramatic, make a jump-over call, Q-bid the opponent's suit. But Zia made by far the best tactical approach, which was to see which way the wind blew before he declared his full strength. And he contented himself with a simple overcall of 2 clubs.
Okay.
Arturo Franco had a rather poor hand, no particular support for his partner's suit, so he passed. Shern hadn't got much, and I think many players would pass on his hand, but in fact, he decided to raise to 3 clubs, I think for tactical reasons. Marie, in the same sort of vein as Zia, didn't disclose all his strength with one bid, also went quietly with a bid of 3 diamonds. Still playing possum, Zia bid merely 3 spades.
Okay.
Having passed on the first round, Arturo Franco felt that he, after all, had 4 diamonds, so he could support his partner in diamonds, and he bid 4 diamonds. Scherner already said enough, if not too much, and so he passed. And now Marie decided the time was ripe to show that he had a really...
Does anybody know what the hell's going on? I can't make head nor tail. I mean, I'm guessing they're trying to make suits, and they've got a partner across who's trying to help them complete the suit from 2 to the ace. That's all 13 cards. Is that right? I think it. I mean, there's a game they play in Iran called Hukma, which I've played for hours, where you play in partners and you're trying to complete suits in this way. Maybe it's similar to that, but I can't really figure out what's happening.
Good hand, in case, for example, Arturo, who'd passed originally, had ace to 4 diamonds. If he'd got as much as that, they could make 6 diamonds. So he Q-bid his void with a bid of 4 spades. And Zia, patient as ever, merely bid 5 clubs. Arturo Franco, having passed on the first round, he's heard that Q bid. He thought, well, I'll take the opportunity to bid 5 diamonds. That's not especially encouraging. Shern had no more to offer. Christian Murray gave this quite some thought, and I think rightly bearing in mind his position in the tournament, he had a little bash and he bid 6 diamonds.
Okay.
And Zia, conscious of his position in the tournament, I think probably for that reason, and for that reason only, decided to bid 7 clubs. He didn't think he was going to make it. He was making a sacrificial bid against the 6.
So he's only got 6 clubs, but he's betting that his partner's got at least 1 club. That's basically what he's up to there. I think I'm getting the hang of this, I think.
Diamonds which he feared that his opponents might make. Arturo Franco was well aware they couldn't make 7 diamonds. This is a situation where Zia couldn't be permitted to play 7 clubs undoubled. So if he passed, that would have been a strong bid in this sequence. So he doubled, saying, partner, I think we've gone as far as we can go. Let's see if we can extract a small penalty from them. Nothing from Shern. A disciplined pass from Marie, and a fatalistic one from Zia.
So the Grand Slam bid by Zia Mahmood, south, and the lead is to come from Arturo Franco on his left.
Maybe one of the Grand Slams.
Arturo Franco, in fact, hidden at...
Right, so they make all the bets before they actually play. The Pakistani guy has said I can make 7 clubs, and Franco has said he can make, what was it, 6 diamonds or something, was it? Let's see.
At the moment behind Robert Sheeran, but there he is, he leads, and Robert Sheeran puts down his hand as dummy.
And so he's elected to make the standard lead, the Jack of Hearts. That, you may recall, was Christian Marie's first bid suit.
Okay.
Zia thanked his partner gravely, and Christian
And
Marie
he went.
encouraged
Okay, so
with the 8 of Hearts.
I understand now. This is basically the same game that they play in Iran, which is called Hukma, and the Jack. So basically, the Pakistani, whose name I forget, Franco, the French dude, he has won this hand. So he takes the Jack, the 3, the 8, the 5, and he puts those 4 cards in front of him. I now understand what's going on.
One might think, but still.
So the Grand Slam is down at trick 1, first trick to the defence.
No £50,000 going on this hand. So Arturo switches to the Queen of Spades, and Marie has the satisfaction of scoring his singleton trump. Plays the Ace of Hearts.
So the club was the trump in this. So he played the 6 and stole the hand. He stole the hand. That's why he got to lead them with hearts, because in this round the club was the trump card. That's how this works. Okay, now he's going to win this because the ace is the highest.
So that's 3 down. Now comes the Queen of Hearts, but Zia can afford to rough that with the ace and draw trumps, and he has enough trumps in dummy to rough his losing spades. So he was 3 down, but he had 100 honours, and so the little escapade only cost 400 points. As you can see, of course, Marie and Arturo could not have made 6 diamonds because they had to lose the ace of clubs in the south hand and the ace of diamonds in the north hand. So it was what we call a phantom sacrifice, justified only by Zia's commanding lead.
Right, on we go to the next hand, and it is still Robert Sheehan playing with Zia Mahmoud, and still Christian Marie playing with Arturo Franco. Franco and Marie, that's Marie with his back to us, Franco facing us, have a game. There's Zia over on the left-hand side with the glasses, and he, in fact, is the dealer on this hand.
And to the rich go good, godly, worldly goods. And here Zia has some more worldly goods in the shape of an excellent 7-card club suit, 16 points, 2 aces, but not a hand on which to make anything but a minimum opening bid. See how the wind blows, and he bid 1 club.
So is the club always the trump in this then? I don't know, because it's not exactly the same game. It's just a very similar game. You know, I'm just trying to figure this out.
Arturo Franco, that's rather an interesting sort of hand. He's only got 11 points, but he's got a 7-card diamond suit. Sort of hand, if partner has some good fitting cards, might develop very well. Anyway, he made a quiet overcall of 1 diamond. Robert Sheehan hasn't got much, but he had got 7 points, and he took the opportunity to show his spade suit with a bid of 1 spade. Back to business, and normal business for Christian Marie, not much, and he passed. And on this occasion, Zia decided that it was right to show his powerful hand, and he did so by making a Q bid of Arturo Franco's suit with 2 diamonds. And this, I think, is a rather dubious call myself, because that bid commits his side to game, and it's usually unwise to do that unless you're certain of which strain you're going to play in. Anyway, that's what he did. Arturo Franco thought his side was now outgunned, saw no purpose in any further competition, and passed. And Robert Sheehan wants to try and put the brakes on, makes the most depressing bid available, which is a return to Zia's first suit, clubs, and he bid 3 clubs. Nothing from Marie. And now Zia's really got to try and get himself out of the muddle he's created with that previous bid. He doesn't know where he wants to play this hand, and so he now bid 3 hearts.
I have no clue what this bidding
Arturo
part is about.
Passed.
Okay.
And rather a subtle bid by Sheehan here. You see he's had a gun pointed to his head. He's got to bid something. And even though he'd only got 4 spades, he thought the best he could do for the moment was to reflect where his values lay. And he bid 3 spades, a bid which one would only make with a top-class player.
Okay.
Nothing from Marie. And Zia, having dallied, as it were, with the thought of playing in 3 no trumps, decided that was no good anymore and bid 5 clubs, which settled the auction, and there they were in 5 clubs.
Okay. Right.
And the lead coming up from Arturo Franco facing us. And there it is, and Robert Sheehan puts down his hand as dummy. Zia Mahmood to try and make 11 tricks with those cards.
Now the 2 of diamonds, an interesting choice, and that is already a signal, because he can't only have 4 diamonds, and what he's saying is, if you get in, partner, please play back the lower of the 2 suits, not including the trump suit. So in this case, he's asking for a heart return.
So that's the first trick to Mahmood, wanting 11, don't forget.
So Mahmood wins that and plays the queen of clubs.
Okay.
And now, let's have a look at Franco's hand. And this is rather interesting, isn't it? Because study it for a moment from Franco's, seeing Franco's hand, remembering the bidding. And he's going to obviously win the ace of clubs. He's obviously got the ace of spades. And there's that king of hearts sitting there, over the ace-queen in the south hand, which appears to be another impregnable trick. So, from his point of view, this seems to be really quite good. Zia's going 1 down, one would think. He wins the ace of clubs.
Yes. Okay.
Well, plays a diamond in the hope that it's his partner, Marie, who's got a singleton. Unfortunately,
yes.
It isn't. Marie has to follow with the king of diamonds, and Zia ruffs.
Oh, no. Oh,
so
Zia
draws a round of trumps. Discard of a diamond from Franco. And there goes the defence's last trump. Now Mahmood plays a spade. And Arturo decides to take that. He's got to hope that Mahmood is really short in spades, that he's got a singleton spade. But he's in trouble because he can't stop dummy obtaining the lead. And that is absolutely fatal, you see, because the queen jack of spades, to say nothing of the jack of diamonds, will afford sufficient discards so that Mahmood can rid himself of the queen and 2 of hearts. That in the south hand, he can get rid of his losing hearts. And so poor Arturo, who started with 3 tricks, apparently, has only made 2. And so Zia made his contract.
Mahmood, the magician, undoubtedly one of the very best players in the world. In fact, with all modesty, he would claim that he is the best. But how did he start?
Well, I could give you many answers. The truth, in fact, was I actually qualified as a chartered accountant when I was about 20 or 21. And I was...
All right, I think we've seen enough of this. Fascinating. Fascinating. Maybe I'll go down to my local bridge club and play with some old men. Maybe that's my destiny. Looked quite interesting, didn't it? All right, well, join us again tomorrow for another Mellow Moments.
There are times when you deserve more than a coffee break, so make a cup of Mellow Birds. You'll find its smooth, mellow flavor turns an ordinary coffee break into a mellow moment. Mellow Birds for mellow moments.
Every day should have some.